Renegades of Puck to the trenches. It's time for Renegades of Puck TV. Welcome to the bunker. Welcome to the essence of no half-steppin'. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier, and before we get started with the no half-steppin' hockey coverage, I'd like to direct you to renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the Renegades of Puck. Once you're there, you can also click on that merchandise link, and you can see all of the incredible and amazing gimmicks that we have in our online store. Of course, we have the classic logo t-shirt, and very importantly at this particular time, we have the Pride logo t-shirt, but we also have all of those other very silly gimmicks in our store, like throw pillows, socks, wall art, bed sets, and about 50 other items that you can find. The Renegades of Puck have sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation. We are only 6 months into business, and we are doing very good for an operation of this size. But we can continue bringing Renegades to the trenches one by one. That's right, Renegades of Puck. I need you all out there recruiting, bringing new Renegades to the trenches, and you can do that by going to YouTube. And once you go to YouTube and you get the link for Renegades of Puck TV, you can share that across your social media platforms. If Facebook is your preferred social media platform, then please share that in your feed and let your friends know all about Renegades of Puck TV. If Twitter is your preferred method of using social media, then please give us a follow on social media by going to @Renegades of Puck. And also there, you'll find a connection to each and every one of the individual Renegades of Puck, who are all very interactive on that platform. So again, Twitter, another great way to consume the essence of no half-steppin', known as the Renegades of Puck. We are on Instagram, and we create and customize content just for that feed as well. So if you're following us across all of our different spectrums, you're getting a different presentation. Speaking of a different presentation, SoundCloud. If you remember this show when it was a radio broadcast only, well, that's exactly what you're going to find when you go to SoundCloud and search Renegades of Puck. You will be able there to get the classic podcast form, and we just want to make that available for you to consume in whatever way is most convenient for you. What's most important to us is getting the show to you. And our behind-the-scenes Twitch feed. It's not pretty, it's real broadcasting. We've been doing something really neat over there. We've been going plug to plug, which means I start by setting the studio up live on the stream. We warm up together, we talk about things, we do a little bit of philosophy, and now it's become a fully interactive stream. So I can respond to you in real time right here from the bunker on our Twitch stream as we're recording Renegades of Puck TV. It's just another new feature as we continue to elevate the essence of no half-steppin'. Right now, as I look down at my monitor, I can see Brian Baston is right here, Greek Goalie 35 is right here, and so many of my other friends are jumping on the Twitch stream. So I would appreciate if you would join us there in that community as well. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you for helping us out and assisting on social media. It doesn't take but a second, and it also doesn't cost you a single thing, but it goes a long way to helping the Renegades of Puck. If you could please become a partner of the Renegades of Puck, go to Venmo, search Renegades of Puck, or just scan the QR code that is currently sitting right there on your screen. Every single donation that is made to the Renegades of Puck goes directly to the Renegades of Puck to help us continue to upgrade. We just talked about how we've added yet another device to help us improve our live Twitch stream, where we're looking to upgrade that even further. And we have other ideas and things and ambitions and plans, in the summer of no half-steppin' is upcoming. So we could use your support, and we could use your help. After all, we are an operation built by Renegades for Renegades, and we're not going to be able to do this without the support of the incredible hockey community. Some incredible, mysterious benefactors out there have already been helping us along the way, and I sure do appreciate you very much so. You will continue to remain nameless as you have requested. Thank you so much to all of our other partners as well. Now, I know you come here for the no half-steppin' hockey coverage, so let's get into it and let me deliver the goods to you. It's operation number 633 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, show number 633. And on this date in hockey history, with a very quick turnaround, the Nashville Predators find themselves in 4th place in the Central Division. 71 games played, a record of 41-26-4 is good for 86 points. That 4th place record has them exactly 6 points behind the Minnesota Wild, now 8 points behind the St. Louis Blues, and 22 points behind the Colorado Avalanche. They do still have a 2-point cushion over the Dallas Stars and a 9-point cushion over the Winnipeg Jets. The Chicago Blackhawks and the Arizona Coyotes now are officially eliminated. They have been a moot point for a long time, but now they have officially the little E next to their name. The Nashville Predators' next game will take place on the road, and it is a very fast turnaround. On the road, the Nashville Predators have a record of 19-14-4, and their next game will take place tomorrow afternoon in Pittsburgh against the Penguins, who are currently third place in the Metropolitan Division with 92 points, an overall record of 41-22-10, a home record of 19-12-5, a goal differential of plus 37. In their most recent action, let's go back and take a look at a sample size of 5 games. Going back to March 31st, it was a 4-3 overtime win at Minnesota. On the 2nd of April, a 3-2 loss at the Colorado Avalanche, followed up with a 6-4 loss versus the Colorado Avalanche, so swept in the home by the Avs, as many teams would be. On the 7th of April, a 3-0 loss at the New York Rangers, and most recently, a 6-3 loss versus the Washington Capitals. Jarry got the start in that one and took the loss, 39 out of 43, and since that is setting up a back-to-back scenario for the Pittsburgh Penguins, just like the Nashville Predators are in, that means we will be seeing DeSmith start for the Pittsburgh Penguins tomorrow afternoon. We expect to see Big Save Dave in net for the Nashville Predators, but John Hines and a light workload, you never know what will happen, so I will give you both goaltenders' numbers when we get to the stats here in just a moment. The wild card standing, just to give you a very quick update, incomplete because we do not have the Vegas final going into right now on this broadcast, but the Nashville Predators will hold the number 1 wildcard spot at the end of tonight's action with 86 points and 11 games remaining. Dallas will still be 2 points behind at 84 and 11 games remaining. If the Vegas Golden Knights are able to beat the Arizona Coyotes tonight, they will also have 84 points, and they will have 9 games remaining at the end of the season. But right now, Vegas sits at 82. Vancouver has now passed Winnipeg and sits at 78 points. For the Nashville Predators, once this back-to-back weekend is wrapped up, Tuesday, they will face off against the San Jose Sharks on home ice. Then they'll welcome Edmonton in on Thursday. Saturday, we'll see Chicago, and Sunday, St. Louis. Before the 19th, we'll see the Calgary Flames. So 5 incredible games coming up at Bridgestone Arena for the Nashville Predators in the next stretch of hockey once they finish off this game in Pittsburgh. By the way, the Nashville Predators have already faced off against the Penguins one time this season. It actually happened fairly recently. It happened on March the 15th, where the Preds scored a 4-1 victory. It was DeSmith in net for the Penguins, so the Nashville Predators already have some experience against the netminder. 21 out of 24 in the loss. UC Saros took the victory, going 35 out of 36 goal scorers for the Predators: Tolvanen, Trenin, and Jeannot. Now, there is one injury for the Nashville Predators that is causing a little bit of an issue, and I was anticipating a call-up, but obviously with the quick turnaround, we are not going to be seeing that. So McCarron is still listed as week-to-week, so the Nashville Predators will continue to piece together the fourth line for now until they decide to make some changes. When you take a look inside the numbers and the rankings for these two teams going into this matchup, the Nashville Predators do lead in goals for category 3.27 per game. That's 10th overall. The Pittsburgh Penguins are 12th at 3.25. In goals against, though, the Pittsburgh Penguins lead in this metric. They are 6th best in the NHL, only giving up 2.7 goals per game, while the Nashville Predators are giving up a reasonable 2.89, but that is 12th in the NHL. In shots for, 7th best for the Pittsburgh Penguins at 34.6, and you know that the Nashville Predators have been down in the lower third of the league in this metric all season long. 29.5 per game is 25th in the NHL. In shots against, the Pittsburgh Penguins, another top 10 metric, 10th overall, 30.7 given up per game, while the Preds are 21st, giving up 32.1 per game. Special teams, you know this is going to be a big-time matchup between these two teams. The Preds have the better power play between the two at 6th best in the NHL. They've scored 54 times on 218 opportunities, or converting at 24.8%. The Pens power play is 15th best in the NHL. They scored 48 times on 226 opportunities. That's a conversion rate of 21.2%. Now, this is where the Pittsburgh Penguins do have quite an advantage in the special teams. Their penalty kill unit is rated number 2 overall in the NHL. They have killed off 85.1% and only given up 26 power play goals against on the season. By comparison, the Nashville Predators have given up 49 power play goals against on the season, and that has them right in the middle of the pack. So you can see just how good this Pittsburgh Penguins penalty kill has been all season long. So a tough matchup with a team that is guaranteed to go to the playoffs from the Eastern Conference. The Nashville Predators definitely need to find a way to pick up as many points as possible. If they're able to win this game, they'll sweep the regular season series against the Pittsburgh Penguins, but it is always difficult coming off of a back-to-back, getting on a plane, going on the road, and having less than 24 hours to turn things around to go ahead and make that happen. So for the Nashville Predators, hopefully they're able to recover quickly from tonight's game against the Florida Panthers. Full game recap coming up here momentarily. But first, let me give you the individual stats for both of these teams so you can be fully prepared for the afternoon tilt. You know there's high-skilled individual players on every NHL roster, and these two teams, there is definitely, no doubt, plenty of examples. Let's start over on the Pittsburgh ledger of the things. Sidney Crosby still leads the team in scoring over there in Pittsburgh, 26 goals, 46 assists, 72 points overall. But then there's Jake Gensel right behind him with 33 goals and 38 assists for 71 points. Letang's at 7 and 54 for 61. Rust at 24 and 34 for 58. And there's Rodriguez at 18 and 24 for 42. I mentioned DeSmith a couple of times. Let me give you his season numbers here. 7-4-4, a .905 save percentage, a .295 goals against average. Now, on the Nashville Predators ledger of the statistics, Roman Josi continues to lead the team in scoring as he has done the majority of the season. 19 goals and 68 assists for 87 points. The 87 points, of course, represents a franchise record for a single season and continuing to climb. Matt Duchene at 37 and 37 has kept it nice and even all season long, 74 points overall. And it's been a magic season for Matt Duchene. Philip Forsberg at 38 and 33 for 71. It would be great to see him pick up a couple of goals and get to 40 maybe in Pittsburgh. I don't know if that's going to happen, but I feel like he has been getting ready to break out here these last couple of games. Johansson at 22 and 34 for 56. Granlund 9 and 43 for 52. And I'll give you the goaltenders. I'll give you both of them just because I do not know what John Hines is going to do. Mastradamus will have his analysis, and he'll probably give me some good information, some good advice coming up here in just a minute. But let me give you the numbers first. UC Saros after tonight's game, 35, 22, and 3, and 921 save percentage at 2.55 goals against average. Now, Big Save Dave, 5-3-1. The record is okay, but the rest of the numbers, because he has taken some big hits for this team this season at 8.90 save percentage and a 3.24 goals against average. Look, for the Nashville Predators, there is no doubt. It is always difficult for the Preds team to go into Pittsburgh, and the Penguins are a very good team on home ice. But the Preds need to rally and find a way to get a split this weekend. It was always going to be an incredibly tough back-to-back. I could have told you this at the beginning of the season, that having Florida at home and Pittsburgh on the road the next day with less than 24 hours between was going to be an incredibly difficult back-to-back. I'll accept the split, and if the Nashville Predators go into Pittsburgh and they take that victory, then I think the Nashville Predators fan base will be okay. Losing to the best team in the NHL, the Florida Panthers, on home ice, but playing a really strong hockey game against them, there's nothing wrong with that happening. These things do happen over the course of an 82-game season. Hopefully the Nashville Predators are primed and ready now to take on the Pittsburgh Penguins before one hell of a homestand setting up for a playoff run. It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Rebirth Sports, you can find them online, of course, at rebirthsports.com, and I encourage you to please reach out and take a look at their work. They are not just jersey makers, they're hockey tailors, and they can outfit your entire operation. You see me right now wearing a Renegades of Puck road jersey. You see me wearing the home jersey, the third jersey. You see me representing in Rebirth Sports threads for years in league play, as the Mighty Drunks have taken the ice and won many Stanley Kegs here in the Middle Tennessee area. I've also represented by wearing Rebirth Sports in tournaments like the Wish Cup, and, of course, at the United States Pond Hockey Championships, which I'm wearing the bracelet for right now on Lake Nokomis in Minnesota. Rebirth Sports, everywhere I go, everywhere I skate, the best threads on the rink are made by Rebirth Sports. They're incredible people. They make an incredible product, and I love having them as partners here in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. Reach out to them, give them some stick taps, give them some love, and give them some respect. And do that on social media, too. That goes a long way and helps them out. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Sure to appreciate everything Rebirth Sports does for the Renegades of Puck. Now, we go back to this date in hockey history, which was April the 9th of the year 2022, when the Nashville Predators were closing out the regular season series by welcoming in the Florida Panthers for the second time this season. John Hines deployed his lines in the following ways. Forsberg, Johansson, and Tomasino make up your first line. Tolvin and Granlund and Duchene, Trennan, Sissons, and Janot. Cousins, Cunnin, and Luff pieced together as your new fourth line with McCarron out of the lineup. Yossi and Fabro, Ekholm, and Carey Borowiecki and Luzon, so Benning off as a healthy scratch. Again, UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 3 minutes in after feeling out for a couple of shifts of this game. UC Saros has to come over with a save on Duclair's partial breakaway. Might have got a little piece of it, maybe he didn't, but he was definitely involved in keeping this out of the net. 3:43 of the first period, Verhaeghe picks up his 22nd goal of the season for the Florida Panthers, giving them a 1-0 lead. It was a delayed penalty call, and he found himself wide open in the left circle, finishing this play off easily. But the Nashville Predators respond almost immediately as Ryan Johansson chips in his 22nd goal of the season. Red-hot Johansson picks up the feed from Forsberg behind the net into the slot, and Johansson finishes this playoff easily. With his 22nd of the season, the Preds tie this game up a piece, and after that, the game goes into this very even and oddly calm stance for several minutes. As a matter of fact, it goes on for almost 8 straight minutes where the teams just kind of went up and down. Now, look, they were playing very hard against each other, but it was almost hypnotizing the way they were going up and down the ice, and not a lot of shots on goal, not a lot really happening, not a lot of high-end hockey, but it was enjoyable enough to watch. 14 minutes into the first period, Mattias comes off to the box, 2 minutes for cross-checking. That breaks everybody out of their malaise because now Luzon is clearing the puck and a rebound out of a high-danger area. The net was wide open. UC Saros makes the initial save, and Luzon clears that puck out of there without a doubt. The Florida Panthers were about to score on this play. UC Saros closes out the power play with a save on Bennett. 16:42 of the first period. Cunnin's off to the box. He's picking up a 2-minute for instigator plus a 5-minute for fighting plus a 10-minute misconduct equaling 17 minutes of all. And this was all over a clean hit. Look, I understand that you want to stick up for your teammate, and I am all for that in a situation where a hit is questionable or any worse than that. But when it's a clean hit in open ice and your teammate gets knocked on his ass, you can't just skate up to the guy and punch him in the ear and then stand in front of him and ask him if he wants to fight. Ask him if he wants to fight, but you didn't need to jump in this situation. It cost you 17 minutes of being a part of this game. Damn it, that's near a third of this game. Brian Baston's going to freak out about that number of penalty minutes, and it's not good anyway. UC Saros comes with a huge save on Reinhart, but the Nashville Predators are able to kill this off. They seemed highly motivated to bail their teammate out. 18:49 of the first period, Saros comes up with a save on Verhaeghe. Hornquist with a slash right there. Chris Mason does a great job of describing everything that Patrick Hornquist does as an annoying opponent in front of the net as Luzon is cleaning him out, and we see a scrum on the ice. But I thought that was an outstanding analysis by Chris Mason on the broadcast, talking about what Patrick Hornquist and also relating personal experience from his career. 19:30 of the first period, Lundell's off the box, 2 minutes for hooking. We hit the intermission. Both of these teams only have 6 shots on goal, and that was not exactly what we predicted going into this game, considering the shot volume that the Florida Panthers have become famous for this season. We hit the second period, a fresh sheet of ice, carry over a minute and 30 seconds of a power play for the Nashville Predators, and immediately UC Saros is coming up with a shorthanded 2-on-0 save. UC Saros incredible on this situation. Philip Forsberg would hit the post before the end of this power play, and the Nashville Predators would be unable to convert. At 3:25 of the second period, Knight comes up with a save on Luzon after Forsberg's great setup. Forsberg was having so much success from behind the net. He tried it again, and it almost worked again. 7:21 of the second, Knight comes up with a save on Forsberg's backhand on his partial breakaway after a slick turnover. 9:16 of the second period, UC Saros comes up with a save on Duclair at the back post, and this was a great save by UC Saros. The edge work getting across to the back post and being there exactly when he needed to be. At 10:03, we see a double post chaos from Montour as he shoots it from out high. It goes off of one post, goes off the back of UC Saros, pinballs off of another post, goes all over the place, but thankfully does not go into the net for the Nashville Predators. 11:37 of the second period. Hornquist is off to the box, 2 minutes for boarding. Matt Duchene is incredibly unhappy. It was a nasty hit, and Duchene got up and let Hornquist know exactly how he felt about it. Honestly, very surprised that the referees did not even this call up, and maybe even surprised that Hornquist didn't get more than 2 minutes once I had a chance to really take a look at the replay. A very, very dangerous hit right here. Excellent movement by the Preds on the power play. Plenty of zone time, but Knight's able to hold strong throughout the chaos. at 15-16 in the second period. Lundell's 16th goal of the season gives the Florida Panthers a 2-1 lead in this game. He goes right by Ekholm along the wall and snipes the short side upper 90. Carrier went down to try to block the low shot. UC Saros seemed to have everything covered, but a great goal scorer is going to find that tiniest little sliver of open space, and that's exactly what Lundell does here in this opportunity. It was a perfect shot for the Florida Panthers to give them the lead. 18:45 of the second period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Weegar, plus some rebound jam by the Florida Panthers. We hit the intermission with the Preds out shooting Florida 20-17, but the Florida Panthers have a 1-goal lead. Clean sheet for the third period, 1:39 in. Saros is coming with a save on Forsling, plus a rebound follow-up opportunity. 4:14. Saros back to work as he comes over with a glove save on Montour. 6:54. Cunnin finally back in the game. Headed right back to the box. Must have really been comfortable and enjoying his time over there because it's 2 minutes for interference. You could tell the look on his face. That's exactly how he felt, that he really, really wanted to go back and sit in the penalty box for a few more minutes. Penalty kill was very strong by the Nashville Preds, including some good work by Tanner Jeannot, even giving up his own body at one point to make a play and kill off a couple of seconds of that power play. The Nashville Preds at the midway point of the third period have only managed to generate one shot on goal. When you're losing by one on home ice, getting one shot in the third period is simply not good enough. 11:21 of the third period, Roman Josi hits the post on an empty net with Knight out of the crease. Once I had a chance to look at the replay a couple of more times, I see that he hits more than just outside the post. He hits kind of the side of the cage itself. So the captain, Roman Josi, had Knight completely out of the way after Knight. I had no idea exactly what he does right here, but he puts the puck into an empty area where Roman Josi can get it, and the captain of the Nashville Predators had an opportunity to tie this game up, and he misses the net. 15:09 of the third period. Knight comes up with a save on Forsberg after a turnover. This looked like it was going to be the Nashville Predators' best opportunity. At 17:52, we hit the empty net scenario for the Nashville Predators, and then we see the Preds develop numerous scoring chances. The puck was bouncing all over the crease area, and the defenseman was able to clear the puck from the crease with his glove, but looking at it a couple of times, it did not appear that the defenseman closed his hand in any way to push the puck. It looks like he just simply slid his glove out and punched the puck out of the high danger area. So for the Nashville Preds, they are unable to convert. And at 18:53, we see Huberdeau put one puck in the net. In 19:10, we see Forsling put another puck into the empty net. And the Florida Panthers come away with a 4-1 victory on Bridgestone Arena ice, each team with 25 shots on net. For the Nashville Predators, there is no shame in losing to the best team in the NHL. The Florida Panthers have been averaging over 4 goals a game this season, and they were actually held under their average. And for large portions of this game, the Nashville Predators were able to play very good hockey. The fact that the Panthers only had 6 shots on goal after the first period is highly indicative of what I am saying to you right now. The Florida Panthers pile up shots on goal throughout the season against all of their opponents. The Preds were ready to play against the Florida Panthers tonight, and the Preds gave the Florida Panthers a very good, strong game. The Predators were just not able to defeat the Florida Panthers. There's a reason why the Panthers are the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference and will probably win the President's Trophy. Looking at all of their metrics, all of their numbers, it's probably good that the Nashville Predators gave them as good a game as they did, and that the result ended up being where it was. It wasn't as bad as it could have been. Now the Nashville Predators jump on a plane very quickly. They head off to Pittsburgh, and they just need to come around, rebound, and take care of their business over the Penguins, sweep the regular season series, get those 2 points, come on back home, get 1 day of rest, and then start off a big-time homestand. That was your Rebro Sports full game recap. Full analysis coming up next. UC Saros in this game was 21 out of 23, and I've got to tell you, he was almost perfect, but he wasn't perfect. That little bit of sliver was just enough for the Florida Panthers to come away with the victory. And while the score looks a little bit more lopsided than all that, UC Saros was incredibly strong in this game. Again, only giving up 2 goals against one of the most high-powered and prolific offenses in the entire NHL. I'll have Nostradamus tell me all about what happened between the pipes tonight. He is the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck. You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV.
Thank you very much, Charlie. The Nashville Predators fall victim to the Florida Panthers. An odd game considering these two teams and what happened earlier this season down in Florida. 4-1 the final score with a couple empty net goals. If I would have told you before the game the Panthers would only manage 25 shots on goal, you would have expected the Preds to play one of their best games of the season, keeping a team like that shut down to 25 shots. We remember them from last season, faced them 8 times, and how many shots on goal they can generate. They've been doing it all season long, highest scoring team in the league, and the Preds held them down for the most part. The problem is that the Preds did not capitalize on their chances overall, and I didn't think they played a bad game necessarily. They just did not capitalize on the chances that they were given. Obviously, the Roman Josi possibility near the end of the game in the third period, missed the empty net goal there that would have tied it up, and maybe we're looking at a different result right now. But what I did like is afterwards and the media scrum with the Preds, how disappointed they were and how they played. I didn't think they played badly, but this locker room truly believes they can compete with anybody in the National Hockey League, and they're proving it night in and night out. They play up to their competition. Come playoff time, you're going to want to see that, and a lot of hunger from this Nashville Predators team. UC Saros, a quiet night, just 21 out of 23 on the evening. He stood up when he had to. Again, Florida, very few opportunities overall. They did capitalize on their chances, unlike the Preds. That one shot on the sharp angle opportunity, there's not much you can do on that one. Yes, could he have been taller? Could he have put his head up against the side of the post right there? Yes, it's just a perfect shot. It's one of those things that you chalk up and just stick taps to them, because that shot is not something that's going to beat you very often. So that shot by Lindell, just absolutely miraculous to put that puck in such a small window, such a tight window on that short side. You don't expect it, ends up being the game-winning goal. On the other end, not yet quite 21-year-old Spencer Knight, 24 out of 25 on the evening. He did what he had to do. Again, this was a very low-event hockey type of game. You don't expect that from these two teams, as I mentioned earlier. But Spencer Knight did what he had to. He had a couple opportunities, particularly in the second period, where he came up large, one of them on Philip Forsberg, of course. He did have the miscue about 8 minutes left in the third period, but was bailed out. Roman Josi, of course, missing the net on that opportunity. But Spencer Knight, I'll give him credit. He did what he had to do in net, and his team in front of him played a very sound defensive hockey game. That's not something that they're known for. They've won 7 straight now, but a lot of them have been just back and forth shootout type games, 7-6 a couple times during this stretch of hockey. Big comebacks from them as well. They're not used to playing very tight checking hockey. This was more of a Nashville Predators type game, low event, low scoring type game. You would have expected the Preds to come out on top in this one. Next up for the Preds, of course, no time to sulk. They turn right around and go to Pittsburgh, who just lost today to division rival Washington. They are angry. They have lost 4 straight games, and the Preds can now see Casey DeSmith for the second time in 3 weeks. The Preds beat them in Nashville a few weeks ago. Time to go up there to Pittsburgh and exercise some demons up in Pittsburgh. Obviously, the Preds' horrendous record up in Pittsburgh against the Pittsburgh Penguins and this Sidney Crosby team. Go up there. It would not surprise me one bit to see UC Saros again in net. He did not face a lot of action. He was a very light night. Turnaround against Pittsburgh. You have the Sharks coming up on Tuesday, perhaps an easier opponent for the Nashville Predators. Maybe that's when you put David Riddick in. One way or another, you're going to see Riddick either Sunday against Pittsburgh or Tuesday against the San Jose Sharks.
You can find him on Twitter at GreekGoalie35. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. He is the one and only Nostradamus, the starting goaltender of the Renegades of Puck. An incredible partner to the Renegades of Puck is Strong Style Fitness. It's that time of year when you're thinking about your health, you're thinking about your fitness, you are ready to get out, you're ready to start being more active. Well, there's no better person and no better partner to do that with than Strong Style Fitness. Let me give you some of the information first. Strong Style Fit is the website. Of course, social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is where you can find Strong Style Fitness. Over 150 workouts by a certified personal trainer on YouTube, completely donation-based. In an operation that is always looking to take your money, the fitness industry is always trying to find ways to extract every single penny that you have. Strong Style Fitness believes so much in the work that they have done that they have provided the work completely for free to you. If it's your first stretch or if you're throwing iron like a pro, get on off the couch and get started with Strong Style Fitness. A happy renegade and a healthy renegade is exactly the same thing, and I need you for the long haul, Renegades of Puck. So please jump in the trenches with Strong Style Fitness today and get yourself a good workout. Believe me, you will see the results. Trust me on that one. I've seen the results, and I know plenty of other Renegades who have seen the results as well. Let me give you just a couple of thoughts on the game tonight. Since we got such a quick turnaround, I'm going to let the Renegades handle the analysis and give their opinions and talk about things they want to talk about. But for now, let me just give you just a couple of quick thoughts. Johansson scores the only goal for the Nashville Predators in this game, now 22 on the season, and he's doing it by going to the hard areas. He's doing it by getting deflections. He's doing it by getting rebounds. And it's great to see the Nashville Predators' #1 center playing that big body style that we know he can play. A couple of years ago, when he had his 50 assist season, many times he came into the zone carrying the puck, went down below the goal line, put his shoulder up to build the wall, and then played the puck out to the slot for one of the Nashville Predators to convert. Well, this season, he has added another dimension to his game. We've always asked him to shoot a little bit more because he has a very good shot and a very good set of hands around the net. Now, going to the hard areas in front of the net, going to the slot, he is making a huge difference for this Nashville Predators team. He's making a huge difference for himself. You can tell he's a much happier player out on the ice, and who wouldn't be when they're putting in their 22nd goal of the season. So for Ryan Johansson, the only goal scorer for the Nashville Predators, he earned it by going to the hard areas, and hopefully more Nashville Predators will find a way to the hard areas tomorrow to case off against the Pittsburgh Penguins. I also wanted to highlight Luzon real quick. 6 hits in this game, 17:49 in time on ice, and an incredibly important and huge clear on the Nashville Predators penalty kill. A point was made during the broadcast tonight that his ability to go out there and be very good on the penalty kill allows Roman Josi to take less penalty killing time. If he is able to go out there and play physical, stick up for his teammates, and be responsible enough to take Roman Josi's time in critical situations, well, then I can see why John Hines has sat other defensemen in favor of Luzon. You look at Luzon's career to this point, and yes, he has certainly not shown everything that he has. But since he's been with the Nashville Predators, he has been a fairly consistent and steady player, and each time I look at the box score, I see 17:49 in time on ice, I see a block shot, I see a big clear, I see 6 hits, and I've seen him be willing to stick up for his teammates out there when things start to get rough, and that's why he's going to be out there on the playoff roster for the Nashville Predators, getting opportunities. He's solid on the third pair, and we've been looking for something like that for quite some time from that Nashville Predators franchise. You know who else has a lot of thoughts? He's got the intel. He was out there on the front lines. He is the one and only Sean C. Smith from ontheforecheck.com. I sure do appreciate having Sean here on the show, so let me go ahead and send it over to him right away.
Thanks, Charlie. Hey, Renegades, it's Sean C. Smith, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the game against the Florida Panthers because it's not going to be very long before the Predators are taking on the Pittsburgh Penguins. It's a quick turnaround, and I want to say this. Before we say anything about this game against the Panthers are one of the best teams in the NHL, and I'm going to say that at some point before the Predators get to the Stanley Cup Final, if they want to get there, they're going to have to tango with the Florida Panthers for more than one game, and I'll be straightforward with you. The biggest problem the Predators saw tonight, and we can pick apart little things in their game, but the biggest problem they had was that Spencer Knight was on point. And let's be realistic, it was a 2-1 game until they pulled Saros. And there was a golden opportunity for Roman Josi to fill that empty net with the puck when he caught Spencer Knight out of it. But the reality is he missed, and if it hadn't been for that, if he'd buried that, we're probably looking at a tie game going into overtime, and at that point it's anyone's game. And either way, the Predators are coming home with 1 point. But it didn't happen. Josi was a little bit off. He may be Superman, but he's not absolutely perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, right? And we can't be too upset about that. But in light of that, the Predators did end up losing the game, and there were a lot of opinions about how it went. The players seemed pretty down about it. They wanted to have a short memory about it. Johansson made reference to having a short memory and glad they're playing the next day because they can get on and start focusing on the next game. But that's exactly what John Hines has always told them, isn't it? He said that you want to have a short memory, you don't want to get too high, you don't want to get too low, and you want to move on to the next game. But John Hines was not impressed with his team. And while he was happy to admit that there were some flashes where the team was playing up to its identity, he wanted to see more of it. What I'm going to do now is turn it over to John Hines and let him tell you a little bit about what he's going to start by telling you what he didn't like, and then he's going to follow it up with a little bit more information. Take it away, John.
I thought the pace in which we played with, I thought the competitive level that we played with, I thought our execution with the puck needed to be better. You know, I thought we were just average, and we're not a team that can play average and win.
Well, as you can see, John Hines wasn't impressed with much about the game, and he ended up saying that he felt like the team was average and that you're not going to win when you play average. We've heard John Hines say in recent games that when the team plays to its identity, it engages in that physical game, and while there was a bit of the rough stuff, this wasn't exactly the style or tempo of game that the Predators are used to playing. And it seemed like there were plenty of willing dance partners out there for the guys if they wanted to have a go, but unfortunately, that didn't quite go their way. They ended up losing Cunnin for a while due to some extra curriculars, and it seemed like maybe they weren't willing to take it where it needed to go. Again, just in case that kind of penalty was what was going to get thrown out there. When your first fight, it draws a 17-minute penalty, you're going to be a little more hesitant to get into it. So the thing is, yeah, the team was average, like John Hines said, and you're not going to win games when you play average. But Spencer Knight was on his game. And I'm sure Mosh already talked about this, but the reality here, folks, is that the Predators have had a lot of games recently where they faced goalies that they've been able to expose. They were not able to expose Spencer Knight tonight. And that's basically what happened. The biggest chance the Predators had was the one that Yossi had when Knight was out of that net, and he didn't bury it. If he buries that opportunity, the Preds tie the game, like I said before. And this is the time of the season where you have to take advantage of every opportunity. And unfortunately, it just didn't go that way for the Predators tonight. Still a lot of hockey left to be played. Still a lot of things that can go right for the Predators. And the Predators are still in a playoff spot. So, looking forward, I think we're going to see that the team's going to be fine. I think they rebound big. I think they have a lot to prove when they take on the Penguins because you want to make up for mistakes or you want to make up for shortcomings after you've made them. Well, they've got a really quick turnaround, less than 24 hours from puck drop to puck drop in order to make that happen. So let's see how the Predators do against the Penguins, see if they play to their identity, see if they make them fight for every inch of the ice, and see if they can put the puck in the net.
You can find him on Twitter at SCSOTF. You can find his work at ontheforecheck.com. You can watch him right here on Renegades of Puck TV. I sure do appreciate having Sean C. Smith in the trenches and bringing you the intel that you need to know. I look forward to his thoughts on the next episode, talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins recap. Just a couple of other things to talk about on this episode of Renegades of Puck TV. I do have one more partner that I absolutely have to tell you about, and I don't have to. I love telling you about them. It's Stripe Digital Solutions. Just go to stripedigitalsolutions.com and check out the work that you can see for yourself or social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Stripe Digital Solutions help design the logo that you see on the wall behind me here in the bunker, help design all of the other alternative logos that we have that you see hanging all along the mic stand here from all of our different operations and all of the different Renegade battalions that are out there in operation today. The t-shirts, the jerseys, you have seen so many things that Stripe Digital Solutions has done. Well, you've also seen renegadesofpuck.com, and you've also seen an awful lot of my social media brand building. All of this is done with the advice and assistance of Stripe Digital Solutions, helping me break through the algorithm and all those different walls that you need to break through. It's nearly impossible to do it all by yourself. Stripe Digital Solutions gives me advice on a regular basis on how I can make improvements and how we can continue growing this operation. It's exactly what you're looking to do with your small business. I know you are. So go ahead and check them out today. Stripe Digital Solutions. Stick taps, love and respect to Brandy and Bill over at Stripe Digital Solutions. Let me just give you a couple other things from the box score. I told you Johansson's the only goal scored. Carrier picks up the only assist in this game. In shots on goal for the Nashville Predators, Philip Forsberg led in that statistical metric with 5 in this game. In block shots, it was Matthias Ekholm with 4, but the captain, Roman Josi, absolutely laying the body on the sacrifice there, even trying to prevent empty net goals there at the end of the game. In hits, I mentioned Luzon, 6 hits that led the team, but also Borowiecki with 5 in this one, including some incredibly big ones. And Tanner Jeannot had a blow-up hit in this game that is absolutely highlight reel, and you will be seeing for a long time to come. Total of 5 hits in that game. Total time on ice for forwards, Granlund, no surprise, 2021, he leads the forwards in time on ice. Most of the other forwards, besides Duchesne, Forsberg, and Granlund, their numbers were managed quite well and quite responsibly on the first night of back-to-backs. John Hines tried to put everyone on that top line together again and just go ahead and maximize their time at the end of the game. It just did not work out. Total time on ice, of course, the captain Romeo-Yossi, 25:57. That's not really a big deal, even with a back-to-back in less than 24 hours. Romeo-Yossi can easily play another 25, 28 minutes tomorrow and not even look any different at all. He is an otherworldly, world-class athlete and defenseman in the NHL. It's not going to be a problem. Brian Baston is here in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find his work at ontheforecheck.com. He's got the charts that you need to see and the numbers that you need to know. He's going to go ahead and give us the playoff race update. And Brian also has some special commentary that I have made room. When the Renegades of Puck come to me and they request to have some time on the show because they have some things that they'd like to say and that they'd like to get off their mind, well, I turn the show over to them and I give them an open platform and I allow them to say what they have to say. What I ask of you Renegades of Puck is that you listen to what Brian has to say. He has a lot of passion for this topic, and he has asked me if he can speak to each and every one of you about it. So please, Brian, speak your mind.
Thanks a lot, Charlie. Well, guys, once again, I'm here at the Renegade Analytics desk to talk about the playoff magic numbers, but I've also got a little something else I want to talk about afterwards. So let's get to those numbers first, and tonight's one big stat. Unfortunately, with the 4-1 loss to the Florida Panthers, Nashville still remains at 86 points with now just 11 games remaining in the season. I can't do math, ironically. And luckily for them, though, however, the Dallas Stars did lose their game earlier in the day, so Nashville still sits in the first wildcard place with 86 points. Dallas is right behind them with 84. Both of them have played 71 games. And Vegas plays later on tonight against the Arizona Coyotes. And as you know, as we've spoken about before, a lot of times the magic number is based on that first team that's right offside the playoff line. So with tonight's loss, the Predators, their magic number still sits at 16. If Vegas loses tonight in regulation, that magic number will be reduced down to 14. However, if they do win in any fashion, Nashville's magic number stays at 16. Luckily for the Nashville Predators, however, if they're going to lose games, losing them against Eastern Conference opponents is probably the best thing because those Eastern Conference opponents aren't gaining standing points as Nashville is losing them. Hopefully, if they can keep things together and when they go on their run here for the rest of the month against the Western Conference, then Nashville can come out on top and find themselves in their 8th consecutive playoff appearance. Now, that was my one big stat. I want to talk about something else. As many of you may have seen yesterday, if you followed myself or the website that I work for, On the Forecheck, home of people like myself, Sean, Rachel, we got into a little bit of a thing yesterday morning. There was a tweet about Luke Prokop, Preds prospect Luke Prokop, who had came out as openly gay earlier this year, and the On the Forecheck Twitter post just retweeted it with a smiley face and a yellow heart. And we got a couple comments. In fact, we got one comment in particular talking about how On the Forecheck's readership is low and has barely any engagement. And that because of that, it's directly because we shove, quote, liberal propaganda down people's throats. So let's address a couple things. This is just me. I am one of the site editors On the Forecheck. And yeah, engagement can be low at times. In the middle of a playoff hunt, it's not something you'd want to see. But hey, we all have things we have to improve on. We're a small market hockey team, as much as we hate to admit it. And we're doing what we can. Our readership has grown over the years, peaking after the Stanley Cup run. But we've developed a great community, and I'm incredibly proud to be part of the On the Forecheck team. And so that's bad enough. But let's talk about what Pride Night is for these hockey teams and why it makes so many angry, sad little people so upset. You see, a lot of these Pride Nights came from the NHL's own Hockey is for Everyone campaign. Now, we'll go back to the name of that here at the end, but I want to talk about that very topic. Hockey is for everyone. And hockey is for everyone. It is for every single fan. It is for every single Renegade watching this in the trenches right now. It's for the people who aren't watching this, at least not watching this yet. Everybody is welcome in hockey, in sports, in anything. I mean, let's keep this just in hockey. Everyone is welcome. Do you know why it's such a big deal for Luke Prokop, and they're highlighting him so much in his junior league right now at Pride Night, and why Nashville has taken such an active role in supporting him? It's because for as long as hockey existed, hockey really hasn't been for everyone. People like you, people like these people who are so angry, like guy on Twitter, who's so angry that nobody wants to hear about this, that's the reason you're hearing about it now. Because hockey wasn't for everybody. And it's still not for everybody, but we're trying our best. And people like us here on the Forecheck, we pride ourselves in doing it. We know that there's going to be some of you readers, some of the readers, viewers, whatever, that aren't going to like this, are going to hate all this and say, oh, it's just propaganda, or it's just your liberal agenda, whatever. Well, guess what? Let's talk about that hockey is for everyone. It's not a good name. You know why? Because hockey's not for you. If you can't treat other human beings with a modicum of respect, if another human being who is different than you upsets you so much that one game out of 41 home games, the Predators host a Pride Night and you throw a temper tantrum in public, there's something wrong with you. People are different. People are, for the most part, wonderful people, and we need to celebrate that. We don't need to sit there and whine and complain and bitch and moan about these types of things. Inclusion is never a bad thing, ever. And I've never once stood for that type of talk before I joined this show. And after I joined this show, something very similar happened. But do you know what I got? I got from Charlie, he said, you say what you say, you feel what you feel, and you let these people know. Because that's what we do here at the Renegades of Puck. We don't hold back. And I haven't done that on my personal Twitter account, in my personal life, in my writing career, and here. So to those of you who have a problem and are going to be upset or don't want to come to the game on Pride Night this week, good. We don't want you here. You can leave. For the rest of you guys, I'll be there on Pride Night, and I'm going to be very excited to see all of you. Please come by, stop and say hi. I'd love to speak with every single each one of you, because guess what? I'm proud of this hockey team for coming the way it has and hosting this Pride Night and supporting Luke Prokop and other players like him. And that's what we do at the Renegades of Puck. We are not angry. We do not exclude unless you deserve it. If you are a human being and you want to be part of this family, you are part of this family. And that's all I've got to say about that. The playoff magic number is 16 still. We'll see what happens with Vegas. And if you've got a problem with Pride Night, well, we don't want to see you. We don't want to hear from you. Please disappear.
I can't thank Brian Baston enough for joining me here on Renegades of Puck TV and speaking exactly what's on his mind. The trenches are for all. And when the Renegades of Puck ask for time on the show and they ask to speak their mind on a topic that they have considerable passion for, I will always allow that. Thank you, Renegades of Puck, for listening, and thank you, Brian, for discussing. And to close out the show, I'd also like to welcome in a couple of incredibly special Renegades of Puck. The Ultimate One and the Ultimate Courtney are here in the bunker to talk to you, and I would certainly like to turn the show over to them and let them close the show out. So I'll just say this. For Mosh, for Sean C. Smith, for Brian Baston, for Kay Perkin, for every one of the Renegades of Puck, stick taps, love and respect. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Ulti and Ulti, the show's yours to close.
Thanks, Charlie. Well, it's Hockey Fights Cancer Week, and it's Pride Week with the Nashville Predators. Now, normally, I'm the one ranting and raving and pitching a fit and putting everything on blast, but today's not my platform. I'm not a survivor. I'm not really a part of the Alphabet Mafia. I am an ally. But I wanted to give my time to someone who's both a survivor and a member of the LGBTQ community. And that, of course, is the Renegade sitting to my left. So the floor is yours. Take it away.
Hi, guys. You may know me as Courtney. You may know me as the Ultimate First Lady, or you may just know me by my Twitter handle, which is @StorybookColors. I am a proud, longstanding member of the High Council of Renegades, as well as a big supporter of Nashville Predators hockey. And I am also a cervical cancer survivor and a member of the LGBTQ community. I am very proudly and out as a bisexual, gender fluid person. And I wanted to say thank you to the Renegades and to the Predators community at large for all of their efforts with Hockey Fights Cancer, with Hockey is for Everyone, and just with all of these events that they're doing in the upcoming weeks. I know that the Preds community works really hard to be inclusive and welcoming of people from all walks of life, of all types, and it does mean a lot as a member of that community to see myself and others like me represented. So thank you guys so much for everything. And please always remember that the Renegades are always supportive of the community and always welcoming to anyone who may be looking for their place within the hockey community. The Renegades are open to all.
Isn't she great? We are all inclusive. We are all welcoming. We are all family. Whether you feel you're part of a small community, a large community, whether you are the popular jock or the outcast in high school, the Renegades are always about inclusivity, and we will stand with you. Hockey is and should be for everyone. Back to you, Charlie.